Austin and I and our friend Travis and Sarah jumped into Star Wars Squadrons multiplayer last week quite a bit. So Star Wars Squadrons, we were playing, picking that up, and I talked about this on the podcast last year with the single player part of the stuff, but I hadn't played multiplayer yet. So we dove into multiplayer and gave that a try for a little bit, and it's pretty fun. I really enjoy it. I mean, this is that game that came out October-ish of last year, I believe, and it was. I could be wrong with that. Yeah, it was October 1st of last year. And it's developed by Motive Studios. It is a space combat game in the Star Wars universe. It is canon in the Star Wars story. It's all in first person, which is really interesting. You can't get out and see like third person view of your your X-Wing or TIE fighter, whatever you're flying in. And it has a few different game modes that you can play. So there's one that's just dogfight, which is just 5v5 team-based battles in a airspace arena. And then there's also fleet battles, which is more objective based, where it's like you have two Star Destroyers on one on each side, and you go and kind of attack and try and take out first the frontline defenses, which is two big, huge mega ships. And once you break through those and you attack the main destroyer, but it's like a tug of war kind of situation where you're doing some attacking for a little bit, but then if they start destroying you, then it pushes them back to where they can then attack you, and then you kind of go back and forth and have this whole combat battle situation going on. But Austin, how did you feel about this game, jumping into it for your first time? And did you ever play any of the old like Star Wars flying games?
Oh yeah, back on the N64, definitely. Yeah. I loved them, man. Like that was so. I loved them, but hated them because they were great, but I didn't know what I was doing. Like half the time. Somehow I'd made it out alive. You know, back then I just wasn't Star Wars, whatever. Like I didn't care what it was. I just wanted to play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty fun. I really did enjoy it. It took me a second to I was like, there's just no way I'm going to get a handle of this. But heck, I was doing better than Travis, and he got to play it multiple days before I did, which kind of sucked for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was having fun, and I went back to look at us playing, and I was like, man, we did have a lot of fun. We just can't win anything because, well, you know, as you progress, you're able to get better equipment or loadouts or items for your loadouts or parts to your ship for your loadouts that make you faster, or, you know, you can survivability or, you know, do more damage and things like that. And finding that balance is definitely challenging because there's a lot of different things. And I just looked online and found some stuff I thought is going to help me, and you know, for the most part it does, I guess, but I really don't know. And it's just one of those games that you kind of got to put a bunch of hours into to understand fully, because I feel like some of the things online, people are like, well, this works for me and how I play, really, but this is like the best loadout for stuff, when, you know, sometimes it doesn't hold true to like how I want to play, and figuring out where that is a lot more difficult.
Yeah, it is challenging kind of to find the right build, and then just know what pieces to know what real impact those pieces are having. Like some of it you don't know until you actually try it, because they have a little description. Exactly. So whenever because as you play the game, you unlock there's two different types of currency in here, and one of them is like basically like it's used for unlocking skills. So you collect 2, I think, per whatever match from getting a certain number of, you know, for winning or losing, I guess, for just playing a match. I don't know how that all works, but you get like 2 of them at a time usually, and you can use those to buy abilities and add-ons for your ship. So it can be like your primary fire weapon. So like you start out with like just lasers that shoot out of your gun, and then you can get like burst lasers. You can get like, they call it an ion cannon, I believe, which shoots like a big, like you have to hold it a little bit, but then it like shoots out a heavier burst of fire that can break down shields really easily. And then there's shield upgrades, hull upgrades. There is upgrades for you have 2 different types of weapons that you can use. So you have your primary fire weapon, and then you have 2 abilities. And one of them can be like a repair kit, where it just repairs your ship, your hull, for a period of time. Everything's got to cool down. So once you use it, you have to wait a little bit to be able to use it again. There's also rockets, like different types of torpedoes and rocket attachments that you can get, or just other kind of offensive measures. And then there's a defensive measure ability that you can add on that's a way to like ward off anything that locks onto you. So it's like heat-seeking missile warheads that'll shoot out from behind you to hit the missile that's coming after you or whatever. And then there is also an engine upgrade, so you can change how your engine operates to like make you faster, slower, more maneuverable, things of that nature. And everything has like, pros and cons to it. So like you might have something that adds 20% to your mobility and maneuverability, but then it has, negative 10% on your speed and negative 10% on like something else. So then you have to kind of pick and choose what you want to sacrifice to give you more speed or more, whole structure, vulnerable like capabilities or whatever it might be. And it does get kind of complicated. And then the other currency lets you buy cosmetic items in the game, which there's no microtransactions. It's just in-game unlockable stuff, which is really cool. And there's a lot of really cool cosmetics for your ship and stuff inside of your ship. So you can get like a little baby Yoda that sits up on your the left side of your ship when you're flying through the air. And
it's Grogu. Okay,
yeah,
Grogu.
He's always going to be Baby Yoda. Mom.
I know. That's everyone wants to call him Baby Yoda.
Yeah, it is Grogu though. It's pretty funny, but some really interesting unlockables. And then there's different unlock trees for both Republic and then the Empire. So like you have different things you unlock for each side, which is pretty cool. So there's like kind of even a different meta for playing like on the Empire versus playing on the Republic. It's like half the ships on the Empire side don't have shields. So it's like, how do you adjust to when not having a shield? So that made it really interesting to kind of figure all that stuff out. But
yeah.
I had a blast though. I was really digging just flying through the air and just trying to, I still am trying to figure out the maneuverability sometimes of like flying through like lots of rubble and debris and stuff like that. But just going through the air, just like whenever you get that moment of like finding a guy, you're chasing him down, you're shooting shots at him and like flying through the rocks and stuff like that. And you finally hit him and you get that thing that says kill. I'm like, yes, success.
I did it.
Screw you.
Did it. Yeah, no, that's a lot of fun. But it's one of those games that I feel like you have to grind, not to get gear, but to get better. Yeah. And it's just a game I want to jump in every so often and play a few matches and then just jump out.
Yeah.
That's how I used to like to play like Call of Duty and Battlefield. Like I didn't want to be in there for like 3 hours. Well, it just depends. I relate that to Apex or maybe Warzone. Like I like that because I don't mind playing those for hours. Obviously the matches take forever, but I don't know. There's something. What's the right word? I guess just something awesome about us playing together and being super tactical and trying to come out on top, which is Battle Royale, I guess.
Yeah.
More engaging is what I'm trying to say. It's more engaging than this.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But it is worth getting if you have some friends you can play with.
Yeah, that's a big thing. It's just like needing people to be able to play with. And I would suggest still everybody jumping into the single player story because it is interesting. There's some interesting moments that happen in there. I haven't finished it, but there are some cool moments that go down, and it's a good way to it's a good entry point to get accustomed to the controls and mechanics, especially with like how you have to constantly be thinking about shifting between speed. You're putting power to speed, shields, and weapons as you're flying. And that single player will get you exposed to that a lot easier without getting like totally destroyed by all the bad guys. So there you have it.
That's right. Very cool.
Awesome. Well, that's all the games we have for you this week. If you want to play games with us each and every week, you should join us in our Discord channel like several people have been doing. It's very exciting to see new people joining, new faces coming into the Discord channel. You can check out the link for that in the show notes. And if you like what you hear, you can please consider leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or just sharing this episode with a friend. Tell your friend, your neighbor, your lover, your animal, your random acquaintance who you saw on Zoom for the 10th time this week because everybody's still doing Zoom calls all the time.
Or just stop someone on the street. Oh wait, we don't do that anymore.
That's true. Yeah. Or write the inner gamer on your mask when you're out in public and then just use your mask as an advertisement. It would be great. Yeah. Please do that. All right, we're going to take a quick break and come back with our video game news. Stay tuned right here, right there. Yeah.
Right now.
We'll be back.
Right here, right now, right here.